Merhaba arkadaşlar, hepiniz IEFT Talks webinarlarına hoş geldiniz. Bugün Morgan State University'de programlar ve uluslararası öğrenciler için ABD'de kariyer fırsatlarını Ferhat ve Alzeyn'den dinliyor olacağız. Lütfen sorularınızı questions kısmından sormayı unutmayın. Yes, Ferhat, the stage is yours now.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ferhat Muazzami, the Virtual Exchange Program Manager at Morgan State University. I have on stage our other colleagues from the International Affairs Office, Mr. Alzeyn. I'll let him introduce himself, then we're gonna watch a video and start our introduction to Morgan State. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alzeyn Hussein. I'm a DSO Civics Coordinator, and also I am International Student Advisor at Morgan State University. And we're here today to help you navigate how to apply to Morgan State. If you have any questions, we want to answer them. Feel free to contact us. You can write on the chat or on the questions bar over there. And we are looking for a productive session today. Thank you.
The dictionary defines a university as an institution of higher education and research, which grants academic degrees in a variety of subjects. Well, that's what the dictionary says. Actually, Morgan State University is much, much more than that. It's not just about a book, a desk, or a room. It's not just about a grade, a test, or a report. Morgan State University is about the experience. Though it sits on a 143-acre footprint, with the city of Baltimore as its backdrop, Morgan State University is global in not only its programs of study, but its students, as well as government and private industry clientele.
There's many agencies, organizations, and individuals that come into the school and interface with these students and benefit from their ideas.
With a mission to enroll a student body that is diverse in its socioeconomic and academic status, this mission provides an experience that's about learning how to think, as opposed to teaching what to think.
The culture here is very supportive. I can come here, talk to anybody, and I would get help. So I wouldn't just know the mechanics, but I would know the theory. And once you know the concept, you can do any problem.
With a curriculum ranging from technical studies such as varying disciplines in engineering, architectural design and planning, and natural sciences, to just as many varying disciplines in liberal arts, urban studies, and communications.
We've been able to provide not only an education, but an experience for these students. And we feel like this experience is the most important part.
Coming here, I feel like the opportunities are available for me. I love that about Morgan. I love that I came in and I can actually feel like I can be successful.
Come experience Morgan State University, because it's not just about a book, a desk, or a room. It's not just about a grade, a test, or a report. It's about the experience. It's about the experience.
Hello again, everyone. As I said, I'm Farhad Muazzami. I hope we're going to have a fun time in the next 30 minutes. So I'll go a little bit fast. I'll speed up on the presentation on our slides so we have more time for questions at the end of the session. So let's start with a little bit background from me before I start. I joined Morgan State University in 2011 myself as a student to get my master's degree in electrical engineering. Then after that, I've been working for the government in Washington, D.C. for a year and a half. In 2015, I came back to Morgan State and started in electrical engineering department as an instructor. And my main duty was the international students advisor because we had a lot of international students in engineering school. So after that, when the pandemic started in 2020, I transferred to the International Affairs Office so I can help the university to start the virtual exchange program. And now I'm here speaking to the students all over the world. Today, I'm really happy to be speaking with the students in Turkey because I kind of start smelling Istanbul and Antalya from my screen. I have missed Turkey. It's been about 2 years from last time I've been there. Anyway, thank you and have fun. Morgan State University is a historically Black college and university, as we know it, HBCU, located in Baltimore, Maryland. Currently, we have about 8,000 students, and we have always welcomed students of any race and ethnicity from all around the world. By the way, Morgan State University is the only university in the United States whose whole campus has been recognized as a national treasure because of its background and the history. Hopefully you will be here and you will see what I'm talking about. Morgan State is located on the east edge of the United States on the East Coast, and we are just about 1 hour north of Washington, D.C. and 3 hours south of New York City. By the way, I didn't add my favorite spot, which is the border of the United States and Canada. I'm talking about the Niagara Falls, which I travel maybe once or twice a year, except this year because of the pandemic. So let's get back to Maryland, introducing Maryland, where we are located. Maryland hosted over 20,000 international students during the academic year 2018 and 19, which was 18% of all students who came to United States for study. We are the number 28 in size between the states and United States, but 1 of every 5 students who came to the United States for study, they came to Maryland. And during the presentation, you will see why they have done this choice. Maryland is one of the most highly educated states in the United States, and 40% of Marylanders, they hold a bachelor's degree or higher, which puts Maryland in the number 6 between the 50 states. So Morgan State, let's talk about Morgan State today. In Morgan State, we have 9 schools and 1 college who are offering a lot of programs. We have certificate programs, bachelor's degree programs, master programs, and PhD in more than 50 subject areas, which we will get to it. The STEM area programs are being offered in our School of Architecture, School of Engineering, School of Computer Mathematics and Natural Science, School of Community Health. Then the other programs, let's say, in School of Business, School of Education and Urban Study, School of Social Work, School of Global Journalism and Communication, and our 1 college, which is the College of Liberal Arts. Let's, for example, talk about the engineering school because that is my background. In engineering schools, we have 5 departments. electrical, industrial, civil, transportation engineering, and transportation system. So the other schools, just like the engineering school, they have many other departments in them. So the Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, we call this the DMV triangle. There are 3 states who are highly educated and with the most jobs around the country. These 3 is the best place in the United States to find a job after you graduate, even for international students. And the reason for that is because many of the Fortune 500 companies like Amazon, like McCormick, Under Armour, Black & Decker, and many more, they have their headquarters stationed in this one of these 3 states, mainly in Maryland. So let's go back to Morgan State, which we are offering over 60 bachelor's degree programs, more than 35 master's degree program, 17 plus PhD degree programs. And what we really brag about in Morgan State is that our programs, 95% plus of them are nationally accredited. So you are not getting a piece of paper here. You're getting a degree which is actually certified in all around the world. You can take Morgan State's degree diploma to anywhere in the United States, or as a matter of fact in the world, and they will recognize the value of your diploma. There are on the right side of the screen, these are the programs which we had by 2019. But we recently added some other degree programs to it, which is the Bachelor of Science in Mechatronics, plus the PhD in Mechatronics, which the PhD of this Mechatronics has been recognized as number 6 in the whole United States. Then we do have a Bachelor of Science program in Cloud Computing, Master of Science in Advanced Computing, and they just recently added a 1-year master program in MBA and project management, which means you can get a master's degree in one of these subjects in 1 year. And our cybersecurity PhD, which is accredited again and is one of the hot topics right now in the job market. So besides all those programs, Morgan State offers certificate programs too. For example, if you look at the slide on the right side, the certificates are right in here. These are the certificates which you can get them simultaneously with your bachelor's degree or higher degrees, but the one I'm pointing right now, these are the certificates that you can receive while you are getting your bachelor's degree. For example, I can just speak to one of them, which is this cybersecurity certificate, because that is in my background. I was involved with it. So in the School of Engineering, in electrical engineering, you can take 4 elective courses, which is actually required for your bachelor's degree. You can take those and it will satisfy the requirements for your bachelor's degree. And after you graduate with that 4 course, you will receive another certificate of cybersecurity, which is a kind of a big deal in your resume for your future career. The other programs, they offer their own certificate programs, but the one actually I know about is the cybersecurity. So Morgan State University has been hosting international students for over 50 years. In the last 50, 60 years, we do serve the international community. Currently, we are hosting students from 35 different countries, and Turkey is one of the countries that has been represented in Morgan State international population for the last 8 to 10 years. Again, about the diversity, we have an increasing percent of international students enrollment. In 2019, international students were about 7% of the whole population of the students at Morgan, which was added actually on this slide. It says 540 students. In 2020, we were on track to hit the between 9 and 10% mark, which puts our students around 800. But because of the pandemic, our numbers didn't work the way we wanted. Some students choose to postpone their admission to 2021 or 2022. But with those numbers just shifting, we will hit that mark hopefully by 2022, which is going to be about 10% of all students will be in our international community. So the increasing now, we are seeing an increasing number of applicants from Europe and from Middle East starting 2010. That means for the last 10 years, the numbers are shifting to Europe and Middle East. In the last 10 years, Morgan State has spent about $800 million in renovating the campus and building new buildings for us. So right now, actually, almost all the colleges and schools are housed in brand new buildings with state-of-the-art classrooms and laboratories. In most buildings, which you can see from the pictures, if you go to the websites, there are more pictures from inside the labs, from inside the classrooms. We kind of brag that we have the nicest campus on the East Coast of the United States. Hopefully you will be seeing it. In the national rankings, actually we talked that Maryland is the number 6 between the states. Morgan State itself is ranking very highly in the country and in the Maryland state by itself. If you look at the slide, there is 2 parts to it. There is a national ranking, which is shown in blue. If you look at this, for example, this is the Fulbright Scholars ranking. Morgan State has been the number 1 amongst the HBCUs. And look at the top part, the bachelor's degree. In bachelor's degrees, we do have our civil engineering, construction management, electrical engineering, and public relations and advertising, ranked number 1 in the United States. Then, just likewise, our master programs, engineering, hospitality, and landscape are the number 1 in the United States. Again, on the doctoral, we do have 4 first spot and 1 second spot. And on the right side of this, on the yellow part, is the ranking of Morgan State in the Maryland. So you see, we have over 20 programs ranking all number 1s. So this is just the simple logic. The blue part is what the students, what brings the students to Maryland, why the student choose to come to Maryland to study. And then in Maryland, you go to the right side, to the yellow side of the screen, and that says why after students decide to come to Maryland, they choose Morgan State, because it has been the first spot in most of the programs offered. And as I said, it's not just by accident, it's the education, quality education levels at Maryland, because as we talked about in, I guess it was on the 3rd slide or so, so it says that Maryland is the number 6 between the 50 states in the United States. It's affordable, it's highly educated, and this slide just show you how the logic works for the students to come to Maryland, and then how they choose Morgan State between the other institutions. But let's start the fun part. because all we talked about is the ranking or the academia and those things. But when you come to Morgan State, you're not just coming to go to classes, take tests and exams and get a degree. You're coming to a different lifestyle here with over 100 student organizations, sports, arts, music, other activities. Actually, this is a way of life. It's not just earning a degree. So when you're coming, please don't forget to pack your dance outfits, your yoga mats, and in case of Turkish students, don't forget to bring your backgammon board, your tavla, because I know tavla is kind of big in Turkey. Actually, I will enjoy some competition in that because I'm not bad myself. So let's say you have come to the conclusion that the Morgan State is the right choice for you. This is the admission requirements on this page. Mr. Al-Zain will put some of these links in the chat box, or you will have access to these links afterward. I would recommend highly for you, before making any decisions and before starting the applications, to visit our website for undergrad admissions. Here you can find the necessary documents, the requirements, and everything in there. Then when you're ready to apply, you can use the second link in this page here to put in the application. And this year, I would say I've been in the loop that the application, the quantity is very high. So it might take the reasonable amount of time to hear back. But again, Mr. Al-Zain and myself, we are here to answer questions. We are here to follow up with you. Anyway, after you put in your application, you can get in touch with us so we can start looking up your application in the system and kind of give you a backdoor to the process. So some of the requirements that I can just mention is the evaluated high school transcript with different credential agencies like World Education Services, WES, or the ECE, or the Spartan. You should get your transcripts and diploma and have it evaluated by one of these companies. Your English language testing, they are using IELTS now, or you can have the TOEFL with the score of 5.0 or higher. The copy of your financial statement. But as I said, this is just what I had in mind when I was preparing these slides. I would really strongly suggest that you check the website for the requirements to see what else they might ask you for. The admission requirements for the master's and PhD programs, just like the undergrad, the requirements, I would highly recommend that you check the websites to see what they are asking from you. If your degree is outside, your bachelor's degree or your college degree is outside the United States, for sure you're gonna need that evaluated transcripts again. But if you studied at the US for your bachelor's degree, then you can just send the transcript from your other institution. I highly recommend to go through these links here. Mr. Al-Zain will put them in the chat box for you for the admission and the application, so you can actually have access, or you can just visit morgan.edu to take a look at the website. There are a lot of information in there. These are the links that I put together for the financial scholarships. So again, I hope you will have access to these materials. You can go through these links and click on them. You might find some funds available to you. But as I said, this is just a few of many that I could locate for this presentation. There are other channels, other resources available. Hopefully, you will be qualified for at least one or two. Thank you. And our advice for the graduate and actually for undergraduate schools is that scholarships are available for undergrad and graduate degree programs. First, you need to check whether to see if the school has the program of your choice. The step two, the second step, check the admission requirements for GPA, the GRE or GMAT or other requirements. Some schools require a GRE, some schools require a GMAT, and the GPA, of course, for graduates is a part of the transition. So this talks about I-20, which Mr. Al-Zain is
Yes.
in that area. The I-20, your I-20 process start after
the admission.
Yes, after the admission and after you put out the financial status letter. Of course, again, these are all guided in the university website. You can follow up. Then you can follow up with Mr. Al-Zain or myself after admission, because after admission, your file comes to us. Then we are in charge of you. So after the admission process, we will be seeing a lot of you. Thank you. And Morgan can offer you almost every degree program for your choice, starting from your bachelor's degree and going up to when you receive your PhD or master's degree. Feel free to contact one of us, me, Mr. Al-Zain, or the two emails in this box here, which I will ask Mr. Al-Zain to put in the chat box. These are the emails for our the International Affairs Office, and the WhatsApp group which we have for the international students is again in here. You can see them in the slides later, or just copy and paste them from the chat box. So my the contact information are in here. My email address, Mr. Al-Zain, I guess I can do that, or Mr. Al-Zain will put it in there. There is a Meet link at the end of this slide, the Calendly link. Just pay attention that you can reach me every time, anytime, every day, every night using this Calendly link. I will put it in the chat box myself, so you can just click on that and set up an appointment with me so we can speak face to face, and I will try to answer all the questions you might have. So I will open the forum for questions if there is any. And I again thank you for participating in this webinar and being a part of it. We hope we will see you in Morgan State campus soon. Thank you very much. Mr. Al-Zain, do you have any things to add?
No, we're just going to open the floor for questioning. If you guys have any question, please go ahead and ask. We will answer your questions. I just wanted to say one thing about scholarship. Morgan offers scholarship for international students, but you need, as an international student, you need to apply for it. You need to apply for a scholarship.
Thank you. So I guess the floor is open for questions. If there are any coming, I can actually go a little bit on the Turkish side, but I prefer to do the presentation in English, because if I was gonna take over Turkish for the whole slide, it would take a day and a half or so. Okay, I'm loading.
So I answered some questions on the questions part over here.
Okay, you type. Okay, go ahead. I am actually looking at the questions right now. Okay, Necati. Sözüz. Okay, how the coronavirus pandemic situation at your campus? Actually, the whole thing in the United States is going better. The things are looking better because the vaccinations have started. And I guess by that we are opening campus, a full opening campus in fall. We're gonna start opening campus from summer, but for fall, the administration is hoping for a full face-to-face campus reopening. The vaccines are started to come around. I got vaccinated myself about 2 weeks ago. I don't know about Mr. Al-Zain, but with the vaccines, the things are looking better. I hope we'll have a full face-to-face condition in the fall 2021. Is there any, if you have any other question in this matter, you can just type it in. I will try to get to it as the best as possible. So, Setanai Varol, what are the fall semester application deadlines? I'll hand it over to Mr. Al-Zain because he is kind of expert in this area.
Yeah, it's April 1st. April 1st, yes. That's for fall 2021. But you can apply for spring 2022 at this point. But the deadline is April 1st for fall 2021.
Okay. Actually, is there any extension to it? Because I heard because of COVID, they are extending the deadlines.
I believe so, but we need to double check with the grad apply. I believe there is an extension, yes.
Okay, so yes, don't think like you have missed the window because today is the 29th, the March 29th, so the April 1st is 2 days from now. But I think you can still go about April 25th or the end of April. That's what I heard in the last meeting I had. It might not be publicly out there, but they have actually extended the application. You just go ahead and fill up the applications and submit them. Hopefully you can catch the deadline. So we have AJ Güney. How is living expense in Maryland, especially housing fees around the campus? Actually, the Maryland itself is not a very the expensive state between the United States, the other states. But the thing is, your cost of tuitions at Morgan is a fraction of other institutions because we get a lot of help from government. So actually, if you can put it this way, that the United States government is paying a big part of your the studies. So the cost of living, again, I will hand it over to Mr. Al-Zain because he has those information. But the cost of studying here is a lot more affordable from other institutions. Mr. Al-Zain, you got anything to add about the cost?
Correct. And for the purpose of I-20, we just need a bank statement that has at least $30,000. But this is for the sake of the I-20. We're not telling you to pay $30,000, but to show a bank statement that has at least $30,000 for us to issue an I-20. And that's include the living expenses, tuition, and all that.
Okay, so let's go to Fayyaz Yalchan. how is part-time work opportunities for international students? They can get a work permit valid via the campus, isn't it? Mr. Alzain, is the
Yes.
F1 visa actually permit students to work?
Yes. You can work on campus or off campus. However, during the spring and fall semester, you only work 20 hours a week, which is part-time. During the summer, you can work full-time, 40 hours or whatever, full-time during the summer. That's while you are a student, registering, you have classes and all that. After graduation, we have something called OPT, optional practical training, and you can work for 1 year after your graduation anywhere in the United States as an employee. You have to find a job, you have to find a company after graduation, then you can work anywhere in the United States, not necessarily in Maryland only. However, during your study, you can work part-time, yes, whether on campus, but for off campus, you have to contact me to authorize it. So yes, you're eligible to work while you are a student at Morgan.
Okay, I do have a question there from Najati again. It says, let me see, Najati. Oh, Najati is there. Do you have partnership with I was seeing a question about partnership from Najati. Let me see, it has been answered or not. How many Turkish students you have in total? Actually, Morgan State, the stats that I shared with you, it showed that Morgan State had about 12 Turkish students, but fortunately, I had the pleasure to meet 2 of them in person because they were in my own class in 2016 to 18. One of them was Jada, who graduated in 2019 with a electrical engineering degree, and the other one, Hakan. Hakan, he graduated in 2019, I guess. So actually, in one of the slides, the presentation slides, I saw Jada's face in the graduation ceremony. So yes, but on top of my head, because of the COVID-19, the numbers working in the university has been a little bit off. I don't know the exact numbers this semester or last semester, but I think in 2019, we were up to 12 Turkish students. Besides the students, we do have Turkish faculties at Morgan. We used to have Dr. Kariyer Aslan and engineering, which I guess that I haven't really communicated with them in the last 2 semesters, but we do have other faculty members in Morgan State from Turkey.
In physics program also have a Turkish faculty who's the head of that program.
Okay, yes, and I know in mathematics and chemistry there are faculties still from Turkey. Let me see, I don't want to lose track of these questions. Do you have any academic partnership with Turkish universities? Right now, no, but actually the plans to have a partner from Turkey started in 2017. Then it kind of got halted with the last administration, President Trump's, and then the COVID pandemic. But things are gonna start again, and I am not hoping, but not really certain, we will have some partnerships set up and ready to go in the next 3 years. Right now, the answer is no, but the plan, I have seen the plan, I have seen the draft. the provost, the vice president of the university, is very anxious in partnerships. They have set up partnerships in Africa. Now we are targeting the Middle East, Turkey, the Arab countries. For sure, we're going to have something going on in the next 3 to 5 years. I would say in Turkish, because I'm going to be spearheading that with my brother in the university. So we will have, if there's any other partnerships coming, the first one is going to be Turkish, which I'm hopeful for the next 3 years. Let me see. Mr. Alzain has answered Najati's questions. Do you have any 2+2 undergraduate, 3+2? Yes, we do have those programs, and you can read all about them in morganstate.edu. So the main website, I would go in the main websites. Yes, those programs are up and running at Morgan State University. One more question. Let me see. It says, Camelia Akbash. I guess Mr. Alzain has responded. Then we got Mr. Satanai Varol. Any facilities for internship during or studies? Actually, the Mr. Alzain just mentioned the OPT program. That's all about the internship. Yes, during your study, internship is a big deal at Morgan, because Morgan is actually an academic institution and the research institution. So yes, there will be internships available for even for the international students. And that OPT program, which Mr. Alzain mentioned earlier during the presentation, yes, that's a big thing that helps the student to stay in the United States even after they graduated, so they can actually go into the internships or actual jobs. They can find actual jobs in the United States. I would tell you something. If you let go of Morgan State won't let go of you. For anyhow, somehow you will be back around this area. Even let's say myself, I haven't started as an international student, although I'm from Iran. But now you see, after I got my degree, I went to work with a very highly respected job with the government at the Washington, D.C. But I finally came back to Morgan. My brother, my younger brother, he actually started as an international student at Morgan. Now he's the assistant vice president in Morgan State. So even if you let go of Morgan State won't let go of you. That part, just have it from me. Again, Najati, do you have any representative in Turkey? Not at this time, because the Maryland's law didn't allow us to work with the agents. But actually, about 2 weeks ago, those rules are being changed. I had a meeting with our actually boss, Dr. Astadki, who was supposed to be in here. I had a conversation with him. Actually, they are changing rules soon. We'll have representatives, maybe in October or something during this IEFT Talks. I will be in Turkey myself, so we can meet face to face. But for right now, the Maryland's law doesn't allow the universities to work with the foreign agents in the specific areas. So right now, there is none. Right now, I am your agent, and I don't need to be in Turkey. I'm one Zoom call away from you. That Calendly link that is the one you can reach me directly and fast. So I will be playing your agent. I do have a little bit of Turkish. Don't feel like don't feel intimidated about the language. I have a little bit Turkish. So I am your agent as of right now with Mr. Alzain. So, but hopefully, I'm sorry. Hopefully, we'll have a representative in Turkey in the near future. I guess we have got all the questions, me and Mr. Alzain together. I'll go to the chat box again to see, are there, okay, my email address is there, Mr. Alzain's email address. Most of the links we talked about are in there. But you will have access to these materials. I guess they told me you will have access to the slides and the materials, maybe in YouTube or something. But again, one very important thing is my Calendly link. I'm gonna put it in here. Take a special note of this with the email. We can go back and forth. But it takes a long time to get something through the email. This, what I am putting in here is my Calendly link. There you go, right there. Oh, if you don't get anything from here, just make sure to copy that Calendly link before we close this the conversation. So you can just copy and paste the last 4 or 5 lines in there, which includes Mr. Alzain's email address, my email address, and the most importantly, that Calendly link, because you can reach me anytime, every time, and it goes through my calendar. It gives you the slots available, so we can have a face-to-face talk. And we will have your information. Hopefully it's going to be provided to us. We can get in touch with you. But if you have any question that's not answered, if you think of other questions in the future, you can get a hold of me in that the Calendly. The reason I mention a lot is because I'm working on that Calendly with the students. I see how effective is that, so we can have a face-to-face talk instead of going through emails back and forth. Anyway, I guess we are closing into 1 hour. If there is any other questions, me or Mr. Alzain will be happy to answer. If not, I will really thank you again for joining us today, and I will just wait a few minutes for more questions to come in, and I hope to see you in the space, or actually in November in IEFT Talks other events, which will be held in Istanbul, in other cities in Turkish. I hope to see you all face to face so we can make this work. But again, I would tell you about the Morgan. You will love this opportunity, because it's not just a study, it's not just a degree, it's something else. Just take that from me for now. Thank you very much, and have a good night, have a good evening in Turkey.
Thank you.
I hope I will be in Istanbul by the end of summer or so. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Teşekkürler.
For your great presentation, and also you covered all of the questions. We believe it was a really comprehensive and informative webinar for the attendees. Also, I would like to thank the participants in Turkish as well. Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. Morgan State University ile ilgili diğer sorularınız için Ferhat'ın ve Alzain'in paylaşmış olduğu mail adreslerinden iletişime geçebilirsiniz. Yarınki webinarlarımızda görüşmek üzere. Thank you again, you guys. It was a pleasure to have you in IEFT Talks.
Teşekkürler. İyi akşamlar.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.